Hi there, this is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, and welcome to another Grail to Blu-ray. Today we're going to go back to the year of 2001, which already is almost 25 years ago, and a Spanish film that I've had on DVD for so long, and again I've wanted it to get to Blu-ray, and finally it has, in the form of a wonderful umbrella release. This is INTACTO. I'll get into the actual release in a second, but this is an absolutely wonderful film. I haven't seen it for a few years, but then watching it again, it all came back to me and its wonderfulness. Remember when films actually expected you to figure things out and just be told things as the story unfolded. Unbelievable. This is directed by Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, who actually directed 28 Weeks Later, and he's actually due to make a remake of one of my favourite films of all time, even though there's not a date on it, and that's Roger Corman's The Man with the X-Ray Eyes. Apparently he is tapped to do the remake, which I can't say I'm as happy about as Umbrella releasing INTACTO, but we'll see what happens. This is a film about luck. This has been on my previous videos of DVDs that should get a Blu-ray. It's a film about luck. It's a film about survival guilt. It co-stars the wonderful Max Von Sydow, who gives just another beautiful performance. He's not in it a lot, but he steals the show when he is, obviously. And it also stars a Spanish actor who looks a lot like William Fichtner, or Fichtner. Eusebio Ponchella, even though he looks a lot like William Fichtner, just with less hair. So our protagonist is a man who is a sole survivor of a plane crash. The character that Eusebio Ponchella plays is almost a kind of talent seeker for people who have luck. He works for an insurance company, but he also has this side deal of high stakes gambling that's literally for life, as they look for people who are lucky. So there's 4 or 5 kind of main characters in the film. We have a protagonist who is our way into the world, who survived a plane crash. We have a female cop who has her own story to tell about her lucky escape from something, but then also survivor's guilt about that thing, and she's left scarred. You have the handler kind of character, but he also has some form of luck. And we've got a retired bullfighter celebrity, is this character in the back of the box. He is one of the contestants, if you like, as he got mollicated by a bull but survived. And again, he is lucky. And we got Max Von Sydow, who is a Holocaust survivor, who ended up building this casino in the middle of nowhere in Spain. Oh yeah, I should say it's a Spanish film. Like I did it? Oh, it's a Spanish film. He survived the Holocaust. His backstory's quite wonderful. He gets a great monologue near the end of the film. And he has been the god of luck or the god of chance for the last 30 years. But the handler sees this survivor of the plane crash as one of the luckiest people he's ever met. So he wants to challenge Max Von Sydow for his own reasons. So the female cop originally wants to follow our main character, as when he was taken from the crash site, he did have lots of money around his waist, but she gets embroiled in the world through the ex-bullfighter, and she also gets involved in this world. So the stakes are pretty much their life, but also the lives of others. So the protagonist's girlfriend gets involved as well. And there's certain levels, there would be like 4 levels to get to the showdown with Max Von Sydow. So it's almost like, your prototypical action thriller, revenge thriller to get to the main boss, even though Max Von Sydow isn't necessarily like a villain. And again, it's these, he is admitted into the game as a kind of, it is for free, it's not against his will. He does get a check, but you have to put something up to actually enter the competition. Again, I'm not going to go through every level. I'm not going to give too much away because it is a film that hasn't really been seen that much. But there's blindfolds involved, and insects and trees, and a bit of deer hunting, if you know what that means. It's just a wonderful film. It absolutely flies by. It looks gorgeous in Blu-ray. There's very claustrophobic scenes under the casino in this kind of bunker arrangement where Max Von Sydow never shows his face to challengers. He likes to keep his face a secret until the point where it doesn't really matter if they see his face or not. There's not a ton of dialogue. We see a would-be contestant in a wonderful little set piece. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but again, it's this thing of, is luck like a power that you can use time and time again? The idea of extracting whatever luck somebody has and adding it to your own stack of luck. We all have seen team sports events where it just seems that momentum suddenly goes on one team's side and they can almost do no wrong, and the other team just can't do anything right. And it's this idea that you can manipulate luck, but is it just self-belief, or is it actually a tangible thing that if you survive a horrible thing like the Holocaust or a plane crash or being shot or whatever, can you take that forward and then test it on other things? Obviously, if that was a real thing, you'd win the lottery a lot if you were just lucky. But then if you can exploit people, possibly harm people to get their luck, is that something you would actually do? It's also about survival guilt. mean, Max Von Sydow, again, he's not a moustache twirling villain. He is literally just a survivor, and you get the feeling he almost wants to die. He almost wants to stop being the luckiest person in the world by whatever metric the film operates in. Again, all these characters are kind of looking for their own kind of redemption or the end to their own stories. I mean, you get the feeling that the bullfighter, who has a lot of wealth and a lot of possessions, he just does it because he misses that thrill of going into a ring with an angry bull. So all of them have their own reasons for doing it. It's a film that I'm surprised was never remade. I mean, obviously 13 was remade by the same director, you know, the Russian roulette tournament. Obviously it was remade not as well as the original by the same director, but I'm surprised INTACTO was never remade, because it is a fascinating subject. Obviously it would be ruined by Hollywood anyway, but yeah, it's one of those really classy, intelligent films. I know Umbrella has released quite a few Spanish films in the late 90s, early 2000s, Time Crimes, and of course Thesis. But INTACTO, it's great to see it getting this lovely release. So this is the hard box. They will release a standard edition. You do get wonderful art cards, which I don't think give away the plot or anything. So this is the wannabe qualifier. This is our air crash survivor. That's Max Von Sydow, in case you didn't know, and the kind of handler who finds the plane crash survivor. Obviously, that's Max Von Sydow, and that's the handler blindfolding our protagonists for one of the trials. I won't show that one. I won't show that one. And that's the cop with our protagonist's girlfriend in hospital. That's where most people talk to people's girlfriends. And then we have a lovely little booklet with essays and images of the artwork. Some posters, essays. Again, I'm just trying not to give anything away too much. And then you have the beautiful slipcover, which again, this will be what the standard edition looks like. I'm a sucker for umbrellas. Lovely big boxes. So the special features, again, I don't want to show too much. I won't show the cover. The special features are pretty nice. There's an audio commentary with director Juan Carlos Fresnadillo. There's a making of featurette, making of the special effects. The writer Andres M. Koppel interviewed by the projection booth's Mike White, which is audio only, and the Nix Reels Andy Nelson and Pete Wright on INTACTO, which is audio as well. Espadados, and that's Juan Carlos Fresnadillo's short film, which is 24 minutes, which is a fun little film about a husband and wife who win the lottery, but the husband just wants to go away to Brazil and start a new life, so he thinks of ways of getting rid of his wife. We've all done it. A Max Von Sydow trailer reel and a stills gallery and trailers. It's 104 minutes, but as I said, it absolutely flies by because, you know, you're intrigued by what's going on and as it unfolds, as opposed to everything being told to you in the first 5 minutes and there being absolutely no surprises or complexities. So it's a wonderful film. I would highly recommend it. But as I said, obviously you can just get the standard edition of this release, which is obviously a lot cheaper. And as we know, when a film finally gets a Blu-ray release, it usually means that there'll be more than one release of it eventually. So I'm sure somebody else will release this at some point. It could easily be a Radiance film, even though I don't think they've done too many Spanish films yet. I'm sure they'll get around to it. So that's Intacto, another film finally getting a Blu-ray release, and it looks a lot better for it. The DVD was a little bit dark, but the Blu-ray, you can see everything that's going on. Plus it's another just absolutely gorgeous Max Von Sydow performance, arguably the greatest actor of all time. So thanks very much for watching. Please let me know if you've seen Intacto, or Intact, as in, can you leave the room intact? Please let me know if you've seen it, what you think of it, and hopefully you'll join me again if more films finally get a Blu-ray release, as happens quite often these days, which is a good thing for physical media. So thanks so much for watching. This is Solitary Ronin from Solitary Ronin Films, saying farewell.